Hello, everyone. I am Dr. Chen. You can call me Alexander Chen. I'm a medical doctor and I have been practicing the medical teaching in medical school and also practicing as a family physician for over 47 years. Of course, 25 years ago, I practiced OBGYN and surgeon work in Taiwan, Taichung. But after national health insurance, I changed my subject majorly in family medicine because the age I cannot operate everything. It's very hard. So I changed to medical doctor. We say medical physician work. It is easier, but my teaching is all include, especially in pathology, because I passed the forensic pathology official scholarship in 1982. It is the only one governor scholarship in Taiwan in the field of forensic pathology. So in Rotary Club, my Rotary name is Pathology, P-A-T-H, means the way, the method. Today, I will show you the history of Sequla. In Mandarin, we say 斯卡罗的故事. Sequla, 斯卡罗 is very famous TV movie recently. It was written by Professor Dr. Chen Yaochang. Dr. Chen, except his major in medical field, but also writing some novel and researching in the field of Taiwanese bloodstream. So through these 40 years, he published many books. The content is introduce Taiwanese come from where? The where is very complicated, but actually all come from Asia. No, Africa, especially the East Middle Africa. The country, Africa's country name still we call it Kenya and Ethiopia. Kenya and Ethiopia 200 million years ago is the same area, no divide to these two countries. And 200 million years ago, there's only a monkey, we say chimpanzee. In that age, we human being not created yet. We are come from God's creation, but through the evolution. Da Vinci, with his friend, an anatomy professor, really open human's body to know what is medicine. Da Vinci's friend name is Vesalius. They all Italian, Roma's citizen. In 16th century, human cannot operate any bodies and any corpse and to see the organ. But the king promise they can do it because they did the operation that we say anatomy operation. The corpus is king's mother. The king hates his mother. So when his mother died, promising Da Vinci and Vesalius to cut and open his mother's body. Through that time, the Renaissance happened. The European Renaissance let every scientist, every researcher can do their research, even in the field of astronomy, in religion, in medicine, or in culture, in physics, etc. At the beginning of Jesus' period, that age, you cannot even cut anyone's corpus. So, Roma's doctor, king's doctor, we say Galen, he published Anatomy, the book. The content, we see it, is almost wrong because he used pig, cow, dog, etc. The animal's anatomy. Suppose it's just human being's anatomy. So many error in his published. But how can we understand this age's modern scientific medicine? Because we challenge the authority. This is human's ability. We have created by God. So we have the smart from God, the spirit from God. So 200 million ago, when the ice happened, the North Pole, South Pole, in a glacial age, they all frozen and the sea level down. So at the very cool weather, the big animal, even dinosaur, cannot have enough food to intake. So they all die. And the ancient people, evolution from chimpanzee to human being, it's about 2 million years ago. The chimpanzee's chromosome, the total number is 48. Our human being's chromosome, the total number is 46. It means only 5% difference. So we can do everything because we have 5% differences. The differences is created by God. Then we use tool to control the animal. But 200 million years ago, the ancient people, they all die in very cold weather, even dinosaurs. At that time, Taiwan, this land, is not in the world. It is only in the sea. Because of a big earthquake, we say plate movement. The big earthquake make Taiwan come to the surface of sea level. It might be 65,000 million years ago. The first mountain movement, we say plate movement. The Taiwan still in Indonesia area. The second plate movement happened, the biggest earthquake happened in about 3,500 million years ago. Taiwan moved to near the, we say, Tropic of Cancer, very hot area. But it is still not in today's area. The third time plate movement, of course, it's also big earthquake, let Taiwan elevated over sea level more. The third time is 600 million years ago. Taiwan moved to today's about Jiayi's area. And the last time, fourth time earthquake, plate movement, Taiwan come upper the sea level more. Today, the Jade Mountain, the highest point is 3,090, and let me see, 3,952 meter. This happened near 200 million years ago. So Taiwan is come from big earthquake. The mountain, especially Central Mountain and Snow Mountain and many mountains, all created by the earthquake. These 2 days, we suffer from typhoon. In USA, it's called the tornado. Typhoon gave Taiwan many, many heavy rain. The heavy rain let the earth come from the sea and upper from sea level. They have rain to clean the salt, sodium chloride, cleaned by the big rain. After clean the earth, everything can be happened. Many birds come from north side, North Pole. They call the climate creature. They come to Taiwan, and Taiwan, when the formation period, they could be connect with other land through the earthquake. They separate. So Taiwan keep many spatial species in Taiwan's land. What happened in human beings traveling? In the research, they found about 200 million years ago, when the weather changed to hot, the sea level elevated, but not elevated till today's situation. The human being separate to two parts. One goes through north side to Europe, to North Pole, to USA, to Canada. We say North Pole and North, how to say that? North immigrant. But we are the South immigrant. We come to another area to conquer, to create their survival environment. So they pass the Madagascar, Malaysia, and to Indonesia, to Philippines, Batam Island, to Taiwan. When they found Taiwan, the Formosa, the first race must be Puma. Puma is the first coming tribe. They come to Taidong's Baxiandong. We say Changbin culture. Baxiandong have many caves, at least 10 big caves. So they live that area. They go to Taiwan through the elevated land, dry land. When the glacier happened, the sea level down, they can working for several thousand years, gradually moved to the warm area at that time. So the first tribe came to Taiwan must be 30,000 years ago, almost, from 15,000 to 400,000 years. And later, another tribes came to Taiwan. They must have fighting. So they moved to another area. The north pole of Taiwan, we have another tribe. The researcher found the year might be 8,000 years to 15,000 years. When we build the new house very high, they must cave the earth very deep, then found many residual, many tomb and the coffin or the tool or the bone globes. We use carbon 14 to check the age. Either North Taiwan or South Taiwan, they are all over 15 years in this island. Gradually, many tribes come to Taiwan. When they landed in Taiwan, they must around the sea. Seashore, it's easy to catch the fish, use some tool. Even today, Alishan Mountain, the tribe, we say Dabang, Zhou tribe, they use the road to catch the fish. In the mountain, how to catch the fish? Should they use special technique? Then let the weapon went to West Taiwan Sea and then catch big fish, then leave it to the high mountain, Alishan Mountain. Of course, it is not impossible. So they might be and must be live in seashore region. All the Aboriginal people, they live in the seashore. When the typhoon came, they don't have a weather report. So they might be flew to another island, such as today's Tonga Republic, Nauru Republic, Papua New Guinea, New Zealand, even Christian City, or Hawaii or Guam. This South Island all occupied by Taiwan's Aboriginal people. They have to fight with the circumstance, even the weather, or they must have a boat strong enough to occupy another island. The very, very special one is fight back to Taiwan Island, the Formosa, their ancestor. You see, through 5,000 years. Of course, they don't know who are they. So they fight with them. They have enough strong weapon to conquer the Aboriginal people in Taiwan. Then these Aboriginal people must move to mountainside, even to the highest Jade Mountain area. This new coming people we called Soufan. Soufan means your culture was boiled and cooked by civilian culture. Of course, the earliest one is come from Netherlands. We call Holland. Holland, they come from Indonesia. The East Indonesian Corporation used two big boats. They have a cannon and they came to fight, occupy Penghu in 1622. But that time, 1622, Penghu is the land of China, Ming Dynasty. Ming Dynasty, they have many soldiers, Navy soldiers. They fight the Netherlands, Holland. Of course, Holland people failed. They must move to another area. So in 1624, they moved to Taiwan, the Tainan's area. They established Netherlands town or something and control Taiwan's tribe. We called it Soufan, boiled and cultured by and education by some civilian culture. That time, Ming Dynasty changed to Qing Dynasty. Qing Dynasty gave Taiwan's habitant to go to to attend Qing Dynasty's official examination, governor examination. Sometimes they got good position. They can have a officer and very honorable and very rich in Taiwan. So they stay in Taiwan at recently 400 years. But Netherlands, Holland, they cannot do some farmer work in Taiwan. They don't know. They don't have the technique. So they employ some farmer from Qing Dynasty area. at that time no China that name. That name is created by recently 100 years. We say Qin dynasty country. The farmers very poor, so they are bought or land by the Holland or Netherlands corporation. Came to Taiwan to work. The history told us our average 200 only one stay in Taiwan and married to Taiwan's Soufan. Why? Because they don't want to win back China. China is very poor, so they stayed in Taiwan, but they must marry to Taiwan's women. So Taiwan's women, the position, the family position and the political position always higher than Chinese men. And especially when the Aboriginal people went to mountainside, their inheritance came back Taiwan, fight them. They have some area differences from government, Qin government. The Aboriginal people is not human. They are something like animals. Only the boiled or cultured, civilian culturalized people left in west side in Taiwan. They are human, but not a honorable human. So something happened in 1867. American ship, Rover. The ship's name is Rover. Had about 15 persons in that ship because of a typhoon. The ship turned to Taiwan's Langqiao area. Langqiao is today's Hengchun. The Aboriginal people in Taiwan, today we have 16 tribes. But the Soufan, civilian culturalized people, we have many tribes, more than the Aboriginal one. In Taipei, we have a Katagalan, Torovian, Gulun. In Yilan, we have a Gavilan. In Dajia and Hsinchu, we have a Dogas. Taichung area, Fongyuan, we have a Bazet. In Jianghua, we have Babuza. Jiayi, we have a Hongya. Tainan, the very big tribe we call the Silaya. And Makado in Kaohsiung and the Pingtung area. In 1865, we have a Scotland doctor, Maxwell, came to Taiwan to treat Taiwan and do missionary work. They only living in Tainan's area. They have a name, new building, Xinlou Hospital. But in 1865, we called it old building, 旧楼 Hospital. Dr. Maxwell living there. But missionary work must be baptized the believer by pastor. So they call UK. That time we say Scotland pastor Lee Hugh. Lee Hugh came to Taiwan and do the pastor's baptizing work in Taiwan. 2 years later, the ship Rover, because of a typhoon's event, they crashed in Hengchuan area. The Aboriginal people, especially Paiwan tribe, they have been fighting with Puma. But Puma is stronger than them. But Puma not living in Pindong's area. Only Paiwan living and control the area. That area, nobody can control because they are Aboriginal. Qing dynasty only control Tainan or some area, Sichuan. At that time, the 14 Americans were killed by the Paiwan tribes. Only one Cantonese hide in the mountain. He didn't killed by the Paiwan tribe. That happened the first time Taiwan's Aboriginal people kill United States people. The Paiwan tribe, afraid of the foreigner people is come to fighting with them. They don't know. It's only a event of a typhoon's crash of the boat. They don't know. So they kill them and cut the head at that time. In that time, the ambassador of the United States is in Xiamen of Qing dynasty. His name is Li Zhander. Li Zhander is a general, retired general. He had been fighting the Americans north and the south, fighting civilian war in President Lincoln's period after retired. The history says his one eye was blind because of the North-South civilian war happening in United States. But he got honorable retirement and to be the American ambassador in Xiamen. So the event, Li Zhander, the general, came to Taiwan and talking with Paiwan tribe. Paiwan tribe, the head or chief of the Paiwan, we call them Scano. Scano means some very important person lived by their people. That is not today's car, but very similar to a cage only, but the position is very high. So the lived by his people means Sequalo. Sequalo is an honor chief position. Okay? They talk with the ambassador of America. They have some agreement with a Nanjia. Nanjia, Nan means south, Jia means island, cave. Nanjia Treaty. They wrote the treaty. It is the first time Taiwan's people write some treaty with United States general. But the Aboriginal people don't know. It is not a civilian habitual or culture. They kill Americans, especially woman's head. You cut the woman's head means curse will be happen. They of course afraid, but they don't know how to make negotiation. So the general ambassador of U.S. in Xiamen came to Taiwan several times, talking with the Aboriginal people, but they must have some Soufan to be the translator. There's a DMA. Her name is DMA. Can speak English and the Aboriginal language. And her mother is betrayed from the tribes. They married to Hakka. They call the Hakka people similar to Taiwanese people, but their pronunciation, language different from us. In Taiwan's vision, you are betrayed. So they hate her mother, but they, both sides, America and the tribes, must use the translator, the betrayed mother's daughter. They call her DMA. And DMA use her smart to negotiate with both sides. But the result is not good. They still don't believe each other. So USA sent 180 soldiers to conquer this area, Henchun, we say Langqiao area at that time. Li Shende lead them, but all be killed because they don't know Taiwan mountains area is very mysterious and very difficult to have a fighting in that area. So 180 US soldiers were killed by the Aboriginal people. Wow, that's a big event. So they sent the general Li Shende again and make very strong pressure to the Aboriginal people. The Aboriginal people, we, as history told, about 18 tribes all together, and they don't know the American gun is stronger than their rifle. So the fighting is very poor. American 180 person died, and the Aboriginal people died also. At that time, Qin dynasty attended this negotiation. So they later say Aboriginal area is the same area controlled by Qin dynasty. But another thing happened in today's Xiaoliuqiu, Taidong's area, the very beautiful seaside, and they have a undersea view. Many fish or turtle or creature in the sea. Another Japanese ship also have a typhoon's event and were killed by Taiwan's Aboriginal people again. That thing very serious because Japan is very near Taiwan, different from USA, very far from Taiwan. And especially the General Lysander was moved to Japan to be Japan's counselor. He taught Japanese how to fight Taiwan's Aboriginal people. So Japanese killed Taiwan's Aboriginal people very serious. That time is come to 1984. 1984, General Lysander went to Korea to be the Korea's general. Lead Korea to fight with other country. So he was not belong to Japan. But Japan, the next year, 1895, got Taiwan the Penghu from Maguan Treaty because Chinese failed all the war. 8 countries union fight Chinese. Then Chinese surrender and gave Taiwan the Penghu to Japan. At that time, Japan used their biggest force, strongest force to conquer the Aboriginal people. Even 1930, they fight with a very tough tribe, Zadik Balai, Saidek Balai. It's a very famous historical story and published by some movie theater factory. That story told us when different culture meet, they always use fighting, kill person. They all know civilian. They lost their mind. Today, through the history of Sequla,斯卡罗, we thought it back. We all seen the person. In our blood, we are very cool. So we must be taught by civil war. Even the civil war sometimes is not a good one. Bad neighbor, strong neighbor, such as Babylon country, use the Christian Daniel and another 3 friends, passed the testing by Babylonian king. The king used them, another country's citizen, to be their government officer. And they had very good support to the Babylonian country. Of course, later, Babylonian country conquered by Egypt, Greek, and the Greek conquered by Roma country, Italian. After the 16th century, all the world changed. Today, through the Renaissance, we are civilian people too. So I tell you the story. Let us remind we must be civilian. We must be taught by the Christian's spirit, especially the Christian's belief. Of course, it is not a very strong and the force one, but through men's feeling, men's talking, through men's preach, someday you must be civilian. Today, I share this through the story of Sequla. Hope you enjoy it. Goodbye. Thank you very much.